If you keep starting businesses and quitting, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you haven't made it the main plot to the life you're directing. You see, no risk means no story, and no story means no reward. That's why most people start a business, get excited for a week, and that energy starts to fade when friction arrives because they're doing busy work and nothing feels like it matters. A storyline is what gives your business momentum, stakes, a mission, and a payoff. And here's where it gets real. The second you decide what you want to ultimately achieve is the main plot, your awareness shifts and your journey begins. But you run into the part that nobody talks about. You're alone, no teams, no direction, just you and your own ideas. One day you're locked in, the next day you may feel completely different. You're drowning in information and still not moving. You're scared to fail publicly, so you keep everything private. You're a perfectionist, so nothing ever gets shipped. And the worst part, you don't even know what to build first. So you bounce between ideas and you call it progress. And I realized something. I don't need to do everything. I just need a system that tells me what the next scene is and keeps me moving even when that friction shows up. So I built what I call the main quest system. It's 4 steps, that's it. And what are they? Number 1, pick the villain. What's the real problem that you're fighting and how does it relate to your audience? Can you productize that service into an offer? Number 2, recruit your AI companions. Now more than ever, it's easier to start a business because of the unlimited resources that AI tools provide. It's insanely cheap to access what you need compared to before. And this is where you stop building like a burnt out solo founder and start building like you have a team because you already know what tools that you have access to. Number 3, win the map, because distribution is the game. If nobody sees it, nothing happens. You have to shamelessly promote yourself because at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. So ultimately, it comes down to the action that you take, and that's where you start your hero's journey. Your life is ultimately the movie you're directing. The friction that comes along the way is supposed to happen because that's character development. Everyone has a starting point, including the heroes from your favorite films. And that's the part that most people forget. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not supposed to feel confident. You're supposed to feel the weight of it. Because if it's worth building, then it should scare you a little. And just like a film has a 3-act structure, it's similar when it comes to outlining your overall strategy. Starting with Act 1. You have the ordinary world before the hero's journey, and this basically introduces you to the setup and the problem. Here's the truth. Most businesses don't fail because they don't have ideas. They fail because they fall in love with the ideas instead of paying attention to the actual problems. Because problems create demand. Problems create urgency. Problems create customers. And this is where friction becomes your advantage. Every time you feel friction in your life, your job, or your creative work, that's the universe basically giving you the fuel for motivation, an idea, or even a new opportunity depending on the lens that you're seeing. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the impediment of action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Bruce Wayne didn't become Batman because he had motivation. He became Batman because pain turned into purpose, and purpose turned into a mission. Or like Neo in the Matrix, where you realize the world you've been living in isn't the full truth, and you could either go back to comfort or choose the path that changes your life. This transitions us to Act 2, where you as the main character start taking action and embark on the journey. And in life or even business, Act 2 is where the friction stops becoming an inconvenience and it starts being the thing that shapes you. This part is where the character has growth. You're doing things that move the script forward, and this could be reaching out to people, consuming good material that helps you grow, making content that feels authentic to you, and aligns not only with your values, but what helps other people along the way. Usually, this is where the part in the movie where the character starts recruiting companions as well. This is like the Avengers part of the movie where you stop trying to do everything alone and you start assembling a team. And this actually could be AI tools that help you along your journey, like using ChatGPT to be your creative strategist that positions your offers and angles, an AI copywriter that develops hooks, scripts, and landing pages, an AI researcher that looks up competitors' pricing patterns in your market, or even tools like Gamma that could be your AI designer and create slide decks for pitching and presentations. Even tools like CapCut and Opus to be an AI editor that helps you repurpose content and does your own captions, and the list goes on. It's just being smart on how you use these tools, which leads us to the final third act. Now, Act 3 is where the protagonist usually has a shift in their character development. Peter Parker chooses great responsibility over comfort. In 8 Mile, Eminem stops fearing judgment and he owns his own truth. And what those moments have in common is simple. They stop living in their head and they step into the real world. Because Act 3 isn't about preparation anymore. It's about impact. It's about whether the world actually responds to what you become. And business works the same way, because you can build the greatest product, the cleanest offer, the smartest plan, but if nobody ever sees it, it doesn't exist. So remember that action is the key thing to keep that thing moving. So Act 3 is where you stop building in silence and you start putting yourself out there and you start putting your work in front of people. Attention is the entrance fee. If you can create attention, you can create income. Because if nobody knows you exist, then ultimately your business stays stagnant, no matter what you build. And that's why I created this Future Creator free guide to help people just like you to get started. You can get it down below. And you like what you're seeing so far? Subscribe to the channel for more value videos that will help you along your journey. Because the truth is, your life doesn't change when you get a better idea. It changes when you commit to the same mission long enough that you become dangerous. So if you've been stuck, or if you've been overthinking, and if you've been building in silence, this is your sign. Ship the first version, post that first video, launch that first offer, start the quest. Because you're not behind, you're just at the beginning of your own movie. If you want my full system of how to build your personal brand, your offer, and your content just like the modern creator, or just like how people are using these AI tools to their advantage, download my free Future Creator Blueprint below, and I guarantee it might help you and provide a lot of value. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit subscribe, because we're building this story together. Peace out, guys.